Hi, this is Dr. Michelle with some more secrets of life and death. I'm talking today about brilliance. You know, brilliance is that spark of life. It's what makes us different from everybody else. It's what makes us unique. And it's also our connection to the divine. It's really why we're here. It's what we're meant to be doing. Well, there are barriers to our brilliance. And you could sum them all up in the word community. Well, I have a PhD in sociology and psychology, so I use words like community, but it's really about who the people are around you. And so what happens is you have what feels like or you perceive as a failure, and you feel bad. You fall down that rabbit hole. You didn't get the gig. You didn't get the client. You didn't get the relationship. The relationship broke apart. The guy didn't call you back. And you feel terrible. And whenever you're trying to step into your brilliance and you get that rejection, you are really in danger of falling down that rabbit hole, particularly when you're in business. Because hi, thank you for joining. Whenever you are trying to succeed and you get what seems like a setback, you feel awful, don't you? And it's really not your fault. You have community that is contributing to that. First, you have the internal community, the one we come with, hi, thank you for joining, the ones that we come into when we are born, and hi, Shelby, thanks for watching. When we come into this world, we are born into families. And although some of them, they are parents, they want the best for us. And so they tend to encourage us to play safe, not to live our brilliance, not to be our authentic self. And, you know, they may not even do that consciously, but they teach us to tamp down who we are. And so it's scary to be who you really are. And whenever you do that, there's a certain amount of fear in your body about getting rejected, about being trashed by the universe. It's like, no, the world is saying no, it's no good, don't go forward. So that's the internal community. Because even though you've grown up and you've left your family, it's like they're in your head all the time. And whenever you don't get the results that you expected, that you wanted, you fall down that rabbit hole and you hear those voices all the time. Now there's also the external community, the people you hang around with. And how are they supporting you? Are they supporting you in investing in yourself, in working on your brilliance, and taking time to do the things that you need to do to get your brilliance out there? If they're not, then it's a lonely road. And you may feel like you're all by yourself. And then the slightest rejection will send you down that rabbit hole again of self-blame and criticism and judgment. So what's the solution to that? Well, the easy solution is change your community. And a lot of people, or you change your behavior, what it is that you're doing to get the results that you want. So you take coaching courses, or you take a program online to figure out how to do it right. And of course, if you've been trying to please your parents, that desire to get it right is really strong. But when you sign up with a coach that really works with you, like I work with my clients, that spends time with you and encourages you, then you actually get the momentum and you actually change your energy. So that's the third thing. I said the inner community, the exterior community, but it's also your energy. Your energy affects how people perceive you. It's a real big catch-22, because if you're feeling bad, if those voices inside, hi, thank you, if those voices inside are saying you're no good, or you did it wrong, or there you go again, or the universe is against you, or you don't have what it takes, or nobody's ever going to love you, if those voices are inside of you, then it's really hard for you to go into that situation showing up fully empowered. And that's what a good coach does for you, is to help you shift that energy so that when you go into those situations, you can be successful. The ultimate barrier breaker is success. Absolutely success. When you are successful, when you get the guy, when you get the client, when you get the paid gig, you feel totally different. You feel high. You feel higher than a kite. You feel fabulous, right? Feels great. So that what you want is a coach who brings you success. And I've worked with plenty of coaches, and their energy can help you have success for a while. But then what happens? Well, if you have issues about success, that may take you back down the rabbit hole again. If you believe that you're not supposed to be successful, that somehow you are faking it, somehow you are deceiving people, then you may start and you may have a little bit of success, but then those thoughts in your head, those voices of your internal community can actually sabotage your success. So what do you do about that? Again, a really good coach can help you to start changing the way in which you perceive the world. A lot of it is perception. For example, failure. Failure is really mistakes, mistake. So you take it again. And you kind of say to yourself, well, how many times do I have to do this over and over and over again? Well, you got to do it over and over again until you get it, until it works. It's not get it right until it works, until it gives you the solution, right? It's like Thomas Edison. How many thousands of times did he do experiments to make a light bulb? But he kept on doing it over and over again. It helps, though, if you have some input about different ways to do it. And also, when it comes to making a light bulb, your energy, your beliefs about yourself are not as relevant as when you're trying to get into a relationship, or you're trying to attract a client, or you're trying to get a gig, right? A paid gig. You have to feel confident. That's the kind of work I do with my clients. I have a client who came to me. She was staying at home. She felt like, she was retired. There was nothing more to her life. And her health was really going down. She was hardly moving around at all. And we started to work together first on her grief. But pretty soon, in working with me, she started to go out into her community. She started to get outside again. And she began to teach writing memoirs, and she got that success feedback from her community. Huge change. All of a sudden she feels like, wow, I'm empowered. And the other thing that she found out that she could do was that when she meditated, she could actually attract clients to her husband, who is a health coach. And she had success there. Boy, talk about a mindset booster, right? When you have success, the coach enables you to feel differently, so that the energy you put out is different, and you actually resonate with their energy because they believe in you. And so then you start to believe in you. Now, there's one caveat to this. There's one little issue that you have to know about, and that's what I call the sister syndrome. If you're working with a coach and she has other clients that you are familiar with or have some contact with, and they're having success and you're not having success, back down the rabbit hole again. We have a tendency, if we were brought up in a family where there were sisters or brothers who were perceived as doing better than you, then you might start looking at how other people are doing. And that's a really not a very good place to hang out, because then again, your energy changes. Thank you for sharing this information. You were amazing. Thank you, Shelby. I'm so grateful for the changes. Oh my gosh, what else does she say? And growth I was able to make when working with you. Life-changing. Well, thank you, Shelby. You're so sweet. So that was another one of my clients who made big changes, and it was, as a coach, I was holding the space for her and recognizing her brilliance. And that's what we need. We need people, we need the community to support us. And you say, well, why do we need community? Why can't I do this myself? Well, I'm sorry, we're social beings, we're herd animals. We're actually wired to bond. And the response of our community has a huge impact on how we feel about ourselves. And if you don't take that into consideration, you can set yourself up for a lot of heartache. So what I recommend is, if you want to have a conversation with me, go ahead and click on the link and schedule a 15-minute appointment, and we can have a conversation, and I can tell you how I work and how I might be able to help your energy and help you to break through your barriers to your brilliance. So I want to go back a little bit to this brilliance. Well, why do I want to do the brilliance thing? Well, here's the thing. This is why we're here. Our brilliance is our spark of light. It is what we're meant to be doing. And when we do it, we feel wonderful. But we also can feel afraid. And we feel afraid because as children, we were probably taught to hide who we really are. Maybe you're a healer. Maybe you are an artist. Maybe you are a magician. Maybe you are a little out of the box, and your parents are afraid that if you go out of the box, you're going to get in trouble. You're going to go off the beaten path. Oh my goodness. And so they encourage you to stay in the small arena of safety. I have to say, my own mother did not say that. She was definitely going out and pushing the envelope. But she didn't spend a lot of time rewarding me for being myself. In fact, she wanted me to be part of her universe. She wanted me to be one of her support systems. So I did not get the encouragement for being myself. She was actually critical when she didn't think I was doing things her way. And parents are like that. It's just the way it happens. What do you do about it? Well, success. Success is number one. You want to have success. The more success you have, the quicker you change. That's the way actually we change the patterns in our brain, is through success. It changes really fast. Those neural networks shift over to a pattern that's more successful. You have to keep on trying. You have to keep on trying new ways of making your light bulb. You also need a support system that encourages you to continue in the direction you're going, to keep trying, not to give up. And also finally remembering that your energy, what you believe about yourself, is probably more important than anything you say out there. And if you're insecure inside, people are going to feel that. The guy that you meet at a networking meeting, the client you talk to, and you feel like you're confident, but there's this little area that needs to be boosted. And as a PhD psychosocial analyst, what I find is that oftentimes there needs to be a certain amount of healing in order for you to shift and change into success. That you need to heal the old emotional wounds first. That you can't just get rid of them by tapping or tamping them down or shifting your mindset. You actually need to release the emotions that are trapped in there, probably all the way since when you were a little child. And that's the kind of work I do, is to help you to release the emotions, listen to your body, and become a partner with your body so that you can actually have more success in your life. You are meant to be successful, and the universe actually supports your success. But it does invite you to get out of your comfort zone, to try things that you may not feel safe doing. And it helps when you have somebody there cheering you along and saying, yes, you go for it, and helps to pick you up when you go down. Hi, thank you for joining me. I'm talking about what gets in the way of you living your brilliant life. What gets in the way of you sharing your gifts? Maybe you're an artist, maybe you're a musician, maybe you're a coach, maybe you're a fabulous psychic or healer. And as a child, those are kind of like out of the box. They're sort of a little esoteric, and your parents want you to be successful. They want you to be safe. Success is not so important. It's to be safe, which means having a safe amount of income. But the reality is that life is not worth living if you're not living your brilliance. Because if you are not living your brilliance, that means you're actually holding it back. And what a lot of people do when they hold back their brilliance is they distract themselves from that, I guess the word is ennui, the feeling of inadequacy, the feeling that that something is missing in your life, that there must be something more. I remember going to a high school reunion. And most of the people, it was like a 50th high school reunion, and most of the people there were retired. And those people who were retired looked like deer hit in the headlights. They didn't know what had happened. They had worked hard all their lives, they had made money, and now what? They were traumatized because now they had no more purpose. And they said, well, what did it all mean? Okay, so I have the second house, I have the vacation, but my life doesn't feel full anymore. So of course there are a lot of coaches out there helping people through their third phase of life to find new meaning, because here's the thing, human beings actually need meaning in their lives. They need to have a purpose. And when they've lost that purpose, they can feel really ungrounded. But the other part of it is, hi, thank you for joining. The other part of the purpose thing is that maybe you have lived your life according to what your parents asked you. And you did really well and you were successful, but maybe it's affected your health. Maybe it's affected your relationship. Maybe now the children have left home and it's your time, but you're scared, because you've been taught not to be who you really are, to tamp down your true brilliance. And so as I've already mentioned, the keys to brilliance, to sharing your brilliance, are success, that is, living your brilliance, putting it out there, and actually receiving affirmation from the universe, affirmation from people. And that could be in the form of people cheering you on, and that could be in the form of money and success and love, ultimately love. When you don't get that, you can struggle. If you have in your head a community that is telling you that you're not good enough, that you shouldn't be doing that that's dangerous, that's foolhardy, it's very hard to proceed on your own. If your internal community is saying that and your external community is saying that, then you have a hard task ahead of you. But they're just barriers. And there are ways around it. And one of those ways around it is to get yourself a new community. One of the communities I suggest you get is a good coach. A coach who surrounds you with other people like you that are having success. And success is infectious. It can actually change. And also working with a coach, her or his energy can actually shift your energy so that when you go out into the world, you have more success. And of course, your energy is hugely important for you in having success, because it doesn't matter what you say or how you say it, it's how you feel. Your energy has a huge impact. Hi, thank you for joining. We're talking about how to share your brilliance and to break through the barriers that are getting in the way of your brilliance. And so I'm just finishing up. Hi, thank you for joining. Just finishing up. The barriers to your brilliance are your inner community, the messages that you got from your parents, and it's probably the most pernicious community because it's there in your head all the time. And you actually want to change that inner community. Hi, Seema, thank you for watching. So you want to change that inner community, and then you also want to work on your external community as well, so that they are supporting you, that they are encouraging you. You want to be able to be your authentic self, to share your gifts, and for them to celebrate that. And just starting out that way makes a huge difference in your ability to be successful. And then the other thing that, of course, I mentioned is that you might have to do some inner work around being successful. If you don't feel like it's okay to be successful, if it's dangerous to be successful, you might actually sabotage yourself. So those are kind of key areas you need to work on. If you want to have more information and would like to have a conversation with me, there's a link over in the comments section, and we can have a 15-minute conversation. I can tell you how I work with my clients to get the success they want in health, in wealth, in relationships, to break through the barriers, the old communities that are actually holding you back, and the thoughts and the perceptions that are holding you back. And we work on all those areas so that you can change, so that you actually feel the support and the energy, my energy, that gives you the success. That's what I have for today. I hope you enjoyed this. Have a great day. Be brilliant, and bye for now.